Well, good Friday morning to you. Trucker Todd here, and time for another video. All right, folks, Friday is upon us. I'm on my way home. I'll be there sometime this weekend, hopefully, if there's no surprises. So I hope everybody has a great weekend before we jump into today's video. But in this video, we're going to talk about what's going on in the world right now. You know, not a day goes by that I don't see somebody on Facebook saying fuel prices are high and I'm going to quit truck driving. And not a day goes by that I don't get a text message from somebody at some company saying freight is down. The freight's not there like it was before. They can't make their truck payments, things like that. So earlier this week, I got an email and it showed the national fuel average and it showed the national spot market rates, because everybody's like, Todd, go get your own authority, run the spot market. And I've been telling everybody, the grass is not always greener on the other side of the fence. I love it here doing what I'm doing, and I want to keep doing what I'm doing. I love it here at Swift. So why is it that I'm doing good right now while others are falling on their face? Well, I'm going to give you the short answer, and I hope you'll watch the video for the longer answer. It's because I'm willing to do things other guys aren't willing to do. Speaking of doing things that other guys aren't willing to do, give me a thumbs up. Share this video on your social media platforms. Look down below, make sure you're still subscribed, and then look in the description below for a lot of other great information, like where I get the music from, how you can contribute to the channel, how you can come to work at Swift if you'd like to, either as a company driver or as a lease purchase. But without any further ado, we're going to kick up the music and jump right into today's video. Here we go.
And this is why I do this, why I'm out here, why I keep that hammer down, flying by these road signs with home on my mind, with these wheels turning round, for my family and for my kids, for this life I wanna live. And this is why I do this.
So this is what I wanted to show you. This is part of that email that I received. Spot markets fall as fuel prices rise. Truckload capacity continued to loosen on the spot market last week, with truck posts rising on the DAT load board network while load posts fell. So basically it means more trucks were on the load boards looking for loads than what were loads available, resulting in the resulting load to truck ratios are around the same levels as what they were in 2018, 2019. With falling ratios leading to decreases in national average rates. So rates are continuing to go down. Now I'm going to give you the average rates here in just a second. Fuel prices are national average $5.34 a gallon. Now this is of last week. I received this video earlier this week. And look what the average spot market rates are right now. $2.42 for dry van per mile, $2.87 per mile for flatbed, and $2.80 a mile for reefer. All right, folks, let's talk about this for a minute and what this means. All righty, we're back, and so you just saw that about the rates and how things are right now. What the national fuel average is. Man, my English is getting terrible. And so that's got a lot of people scared. And I'm finding people are scared for a lot of different reasons. I want to talk about them in this video. The first one, let's talk about fuel. And I want to start by saying that a lot of the reason I'm successful, I'd love to tell you it's all brain power and it's all me. But partnering with a good company like Swift is definitely a huge head start in the right direction. I'm going to tell you why. Depending on who you ask, they're either the largest freight company in the country or they're in the top 2 or 3. So they have a vast freight network. So that doesn't mean that things haven't slowed down for us like they have for everybody. But this week I had 2,500 miles. Last week I had about 2,500 miles. The week before that I had 3,200 miles. So I'm still getting my miles. I'm still making a nice check. And the best part is they're treating me good and I'm having the time of my life. Now, do I have days where I'm frustrated? Absolutely, because it's over-the-road trucking. You're going to have good days. You're going to have bad days. But let's talk about fuel for a minute. I think everyone watching this video will agree that fuel is high. But one thing Swift does to help us is we have an excellent fuel surcharge. And I looked at it right before I came on here, and I want to say, I've already drawn a blank, I want to say it was 68.7 cents a mile this week. So there's a lot of you guys out there right now that are working for fuel surcharges that are 35 and 40 cents a mile. But Swift, in their generosity, and I know some people, I'm going to catch some heat for saying that, but it is generous. They could give me 40 cents like other companies would, but they're giving us a very fair and decent fuel surcharge. Now, another thing that's helping me with fuel, and we're going to get into rates here in a minute, is I've got a fuel card that I've been promoting for the past few weeks that the last 2 or 3 times I've used it, I've saved over $100 on a tank of fuel. Now, you do that 3 times a week, that's $300 a week. You do that all year, that's over $15,000 a year. How many of you, if you saw $15,000 laying on the ground, wouldn't pick it up? And that's what I'm trying to get you to understand. It's a bunch of little things that lead to the big things. Get this fuel card. Look at Mudflap like I suggested on here. Do the things I do. And then partner with a good company like Swift. And just those things offset fuel. I'll tell you another thing that nobody mentions. This truck is spec'd really, really, really well for fuel economy. I would love to meet the man that specs these trucks and pick his brain and figure out how he arrived at the stuff he did. This truck is the best combination between having power going up the hills and being able to get decent fuel economy. That's the other reason for my success. I had one week that I spent like $1,400 on fuel, and a guy I was talking to said that he had spent over $2,100 on fuel that week. And some of that is knowledge, knowing what parts of the country to run, knowing how to buy fuel, knowing when to buy fuel, knowing how much fuel to buy. Those things all come into it. But having several sources that you can get your fuel from, you guys know for a while I was fueling almost exclusively at the Swift terminals because of the discount. And just taking that few minutes each day to look at those things can really make a big difference in your bottom line. So now let's talk about these freight rates. Anytime you look at your freight rates, you need to know your numbers going into that freight rate. And so I'll give you an example. I had a really nice guy, worked for a large reefer company in Springfield, Missouri. I'm not calling any names. And he called me and he said, Trigger Todd, I'm getting almost $3 a mile on every load. And I said, is that your part, or is that after the company takes out their 28%? Oh, that's my part. That's my part. Wow, that's really good. That means that your company is getting over $1 a mile above the national average on their freight. I said, I wonder how they're doing that. And he said, I don't know, but that's what I'm getting. And, you know, I politely asked him to send me settlements that I'd like to look at that. And they never came. But it's neither here nor there. Odds are, it's far more likely with a large reefer company that his rates are about what the national average is, and that he gets 62% of that, which would put him around $2 a mile. And that he just doesn't know his numbers. Could be wrong. I hadn't seen his settlements yet. But let's say that's the case. Let's say he's getting that $2.84 a mile for a reefer load, and that after he gives his company his 32% or 28%, that he is right around the $2 mark on a reefer load. Well, he's still got to buy reefer fuel. He's still got to pay tolls, all of those things. In my situation, I'm getting, this week I was right in the $1.90s range, $1.95, something like that. I didn't put a calculator to it, but it was just shy of $2 a mile on gross before everything came out. All right. Here they pay my tolls. Here I get paid for deadhead. Granted, it's not as much as loaded, but it's better than nothing like you get on the spot market. So he's got to average over $3 a mile to make what I make every day here on an average day. So that's part of the allure to Swift. Part of it is the high drop and hook count, and part of it is just the way the people are and the way they treat you. Now, let's flip over to the reefer side of it. I'm going to skip flatbed because I've told y'all that's not my strong suit. I don't know a lot about flatbed, and so I'm not going to get on here and pretend like I do. Truth and honesty is real important to me. There's YouTubers out there right now that will tell you anything to get you in the door at their company, and I'm not that guy. I'm going to tell you the truth. Now, I believe, if I remember correctly, it was $2.43 a mile for dry van. Again, that sounds really good. But let's take that same number, and at my last company, let's plug it in there because that's where I'm familiar. I was doing a 70-30 split. So let's take that 243, you take 30% off of that. That puts you right around the $1.60 mark. Now remember, I told you I made almost $2 a mile this week gross. So, and when you do those spot market rates, the fuel surcharge has been built into it. So that 243 is all in. So I'd get $1.60 on my old contract with my old company. I'm making roughly 35 cents a mile more now. Now, for those of you that say, it's only 35 cents. When you run a 2,500 mile week, that's almost $1,000 a week difference. I don't have a calculator in front of me, so you guys at home can figure it for yourselves if you want to. 35 cents times 2,500 miles is a big pay differential. And it's definitely money that if any of us saw it laying on the ground, we'd pick it up. So, you know, I get asked, Todd, you got 25 years experience. Why don't you go to work there? And it's market conditions changed. This company has changed. This is a great place to work. And I hope that you guys can see in my face the excitement I have working here. You guys know we hit a couple of speed bumps last week, but we worked through them, and that's just more proof that this is a great place to work. And you're in the right place at the right time. If you're not here, it's definitely a place to consider. And if you're not doing as well as you'd like to do here, reach out to me or reach out to some of the other guys you know that are doing well here and find out how they're doing and what they're doing. You know, I mentioned in the start of the video, I do things that other people aren't willing to do. One of those things is driving 60 miles an hour for fuel savings. Now, we can debate the cost benefit of that, if miles add up or whatever. I'm not here to do that. I'm just telling you it works for me. If you're running full speed everywhere and that works for you and you're happy with your income, then more power to you. I'm finding that I'm hitting less potholes in the road. I'm not tearing up my tires as quick. The truck doesn't rattle as much as trucks in the past. And I'm seeing a lot of benefits that a lot of people don't consider by just slowing down. Now this trip here, yeah, I'm running 68 because I'm dropping this load in Oklahoma City and then I'm going home. And I'm in a hurry to get there, maximize my time at the house. So yeah, this trip, I'm going a little faster than normal, but normally I'd be doing 60 to save fuel. And not saying you got to do it, just consider it. We may have to agree to disagree on this one. But those are just some things I wanted to talk to you about after I saw that email. And I know a lot of you are discouraged out there, and I really hope this video kind of motivates you and uplifts you a little bit and gives you hope to hang in there and keep fighting. But until next time, you guys have a great weekend. We'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.